Pinnacle, I feel like they not only believe in what I'm doing, but they're doing it with me.
Pinnacle has established themselves in the community in a very positive way.
They've got this core sense of values that keeps them steady. I think that's their great strength.
I know that Pinnacle has many, many more customers than just me, but there are times that I feel like I'm the only one they're focused on.
What stands out about Pinnacle to me is the engagement of the individuals, how everybody's on a personal basis with you.
An institution isn't just concrete and steel and glass and wood. It's the heart and soul and the blood and the brains behind it. And I see that the people of Pinnacle being strong enough to carry it into the future very well.
If I were to say, who should I go to in your organization for great service, for you to be able to say, anybody, that's hard to get to. And Pinnacle does that.
The banking business is a consolidating industry. If you go back to the mid-'80s, there were about 14,400 banks. Today, there are less than 8,000.
Back in 1999, First American sold AmSouth. We knew that there would be tremendous disruption with the client base and the associate base as a result of that.
And what happens invariably in that consolidating industry is service quality goes down.
Service levels had really deteriorated in our Nashville community as a result of the larger regional banks taking over. We started this firm saying that we're going to be here for our clients, we want to do something for our shareholders, for our associates, for our community. And that's in our mission statement.
All of us had ownership and input, and I think the key word there is mutual and joint ownership. We all bought into the concepts of what Pinnacle was to represent to the community, as well as what Pinnacle was going to represent to one another, to our families.
It was obvious that when you get 37 people to know and understand and agree on what they're going to do, they'll accomplish extraordinary things. And we committed at that time, hey, we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep building on our values, on our vision, on our mission, and make sure that everybody in this company, regardless of size, understands what we're trying to do.
In making that mission statement, we saw truthfulness of honor, integrity, and character as the foundations of every piece of the company.
Well, we wanted to build a fun company and get back to doing business the old-fashioned way, where we enjoyed our clients and enjoyed what we did every day. When we got home at night, we weren't ready to kick the dog.
I wouldn't bet against McCabe and Turner on anything, so to me it was a sure bet.
I mean, we all needed a job, so we were trying to figure out what we were going to do.
The experience in the beginning was just amazing. It was a once-in-a-generation opportunity.
This was our shot as a banker to get to be an entrepreneur, so it was a lot of fun.
It was started with a blank sheet of paper, and it's just been a magical experience ever since.
We've had so much growth and so much success. It's in some ways hard to really think that this started from nothing.
Don't stop believing. Hold on to that feeling.
I spent a lot of days driving to work when I worked in a large regional company, talking to myself, saying, come on, Terry, you need to be positive, you need to be constructive. I just thought, boy, it doesn't need to be that way. There's no reason a company ought to be like that.
I don't want it to sound cliche, because it's not. It's a privilege to be here.
We really care about each other. It just feels awesome to come to work every day.
I retired from that other place and came over here to start a new life.
We're all on the same page trying to do the same thing. And it's a neat thing to have that common goal and then accomplish it.
Who knew an organization could work like this?
Working for Pinnacle is just amazing. I feel valued.
The culture is amazing. I will tell anybody that will listen to me that I have the best job in the world.
I've never been at a firm as wonderful as Pinnacle. I'm so proud to be a part of the team.
The truth is, it was fresh air. It was oxygen. I think, people come to work here every day thinking something good's going to happen.
You can't wait to get to work for 7 years, every single day. That speaks volumes about where you're working.
The running joke I had was coming from AmSouth to here was I had to go through detox for about 90 days.
I look at it like when you're on a baseball team or when you're at school and you pick teams, and I got to be on the best team and we're loaded.
A distinctive service to me and to my team is
putting our clients first. I mean, people walk in here and say the energy is so different in here.
Our associate that's at the drive-thru, she knows all the kids' names and she knows what kind of suckers they like.
It's not just a matter of branding for us, it's the way we live our lives every day.
We have special dog biscuits for their dogs.
Small bank feeling.
Just kind of like Cheers was, you know, in Boston. When you walk in, somebody knows your name.
You know, you're not just a number here at Pinnacle. We value our clients here.
Yeah, that's family. They are four-leggeds and two-leggeds alike. We're not picky.
A true team spirit here at Pinnacle.
We do win together, we lose together.
I think it's all about the people.
The biggest asset that Pinnacle has is teamwork. We're all in it together, and it really has worked.
They love waiting on the client. They love making somebody's day. It's not a chore to them.
If Brad wins, Pinnacle wins. If Pinnacle wins, Brad wins. It allows me to think beyond myself.
We win together, we lose together.
While we succeed individually, what that correlates to and creates is team overall success.
I think it's just the way you treat people every day. You know, it's look them in the eye and you tell them the truth and you treat them like family.
The balance that Pinnacle offers is wonderful, so I'm able to do things with my son's school, and I'm able to be close to him when I need to be close to him.
We talk about balancing your home life and your work life, and recently I said to Bill, hey, I might have to leave. My son might be pitching a baseball game this afternoon, and his answer was, you might have to leave. No, you have to leave.
When you have a lot of regional banks to absorb some of the smaller banks, you lose a lot of that giving out in the community.
How we give back and how decisions are made to give back is often based upon what we as associates, what we're involved in the community.
We have historically spent about $500,000 a year on direct community investments. That's in addition to the time and talent of our 800 associates.
I think to say we set the bar high is true not only in word but deed. You know, the orientation process puts a 12-foot wall in front of us and you have to get up and over it.
The wall's a perfect symbol for that. It requires teamwork and support and cheering and a lot of help from other associates to get over that wall, and that's exactly what we do as a company, and that's why we have achieved great heights.
I would challenge every associate each and every day. Figure out whose day do you want to make.
I get knocked down, but I get up again. You're never gonna keep me down.
I think that the way that this firm navigated the last two and a half years of the economic downturn would have to be something I would call an accomplishment.
Recognizing the issue, trying to size it, and trying to figure out how to deal with it through a specialized group was one of the big cultural changes, I'd say.
We didn't form a special assets, a full-time special assets group until March of 2009. And now we've got a staff of 24 people.
We're cleaning up some of the credit issues. We've obviously changed the balance sheet, especially on the deposit liability side of the ledger. So we've lowered that cost. We're improving our margin. And so once we get through some of these credit issues, and we get growing again, I think it'll be a clear sale.
We actually probably peaked on our problem assets about the middle part of 2010.
As far as revisiting the core strategies of the firm after the credit crisis that we've been through, yeah, I think we revisited a lot of initiatives. I think we did a lot of soul searching on where we wanted this firm to go.
After 7.5 to 8 years, it was somewhat of a shock to the system when we realized we had some loan issues and credit problems. I believe that when a person is challenged with a severity of a particular situation, even a traumatic situation, how that person reacts and how that person overcomes, that creates a better person, in our case, in my opinion, a better organization.
We had some rough times, but nobody gave up.
You're simply the best.
I guess what I'm most proud of, though, is the fact that I'm still here after 10 years. I never would have guessed they would have kept me around that long, so that's been pretty fun.
In 2004, we had a stock split, and I had never had stock before with the company. and it was sweet.
I think being voted best place to work last year was really awesome.
Opening the Knoxville offices and watching those grow, I think that was a huge accomplishment.
When you start that far from where you have been and you create a $100 million bank in the first 7 or 8 months, it's a real neat accomplishment, and we think that's a pretty defining moment.
When I think of us opening with one office and having 34 offices, you know, that's a huge accomplishment.
Calvary and Pinnacle, and then with Mid-America with those mergers, which were successful. That was a huge accomplishment.
In 2005, we achieved a milestone that was pretty amazing for our company at the time, and that was we reached $1 billion in assets.
Certainly didn't expect to see the Pinnacle logo displayed on this awesome building.
Completely changing the skyline of Nashville.
The ribbon cutting at our first Brentwood office.
Our partnership with the Titans.
I'll never forget the day that Rob and Terry went to New York and rang the bell and Pinnacle first traded, I think.
We have achieved right at a 10% market share in a crowded field. That's 4th in the market of 64. A number of these banks have been in business 100 to 125 years that have not been able to do that. $5 billion during that period of time, those are large numbers that put you in rarefied air in terms of size and consequence of banks throughout the nation.
I see us growing the bank to $15 billion in assets in 10 years, and if we do, I'm going to retire and go to the beach.
I think we're going to grow in size, maybe even answering the phone within 2 rings, right?
Well, I think the sky's the limit.
I hope that stock keeps on climbing. I hope our assets double.
I know we'll be the top bank in Tennessee.
I would look for us to have more offices, probably more structured growth. I think that the sky is the limit.
Leading and redefining what financial services means.
Continue to hire more people. I think we'll grow this business, and I think we'll be more profitable.
We'll still be the best place to work in Tennessee.
The place to bank in Tennessee.
I truly believe that the sky is the limit.
The future for Pinnacle is really incredible. I think our timing is good.
I think our opportunity today is probably bigger than it was then. We still hear the hard customer service stories every day.
Greenwich Research, they'll tell you that 66% of the clients today are willing to switch banks.
I think a lot of the growth is going to have to come from stealing market share from our competitors, but I think the time is perfect for that.
But when you get to be a 1,000-person company or a 1,200-person company, you're going to have to learn to do things differently, better. You're going to have to throw some things out and bring some new things in.
If we continue just to live to the Pinnacle culture, we'll do a great job of attracting clients and making that goal of being the #1 market leader something that will happen.
Hold fast to those things that got us here, you know, the values and the mission.
What we're trying to do is be the best financial services firm and the best place to work. And the point of that is that bigger isn't the same as best. But the best always gets bigger. That's really what propelled our growth in Chapter 1. That's what I think will propel our growth in Chapter 2.
With the right people in the right seats, they better watch out.